Good morning. It is 10:37 in the morning, Central Daylight Time. I'm still here in Austin. I said goodbye to my mama about 24 hours ago. I'm so thankful, so grateful she was able to stay a few extra days. I'm definitely doing better, but recovery is still hard. So this surgery took a lot more out of me than I expected. I got a lot of tubes. You can see I'm wearing my pee. So I got the tube coming from my belly. I got one coming out of my penis. It definitely started to irritate my penis. It's interesting though, because I can actually feel it move inside. I mean the Foley catheter, so the one that is inserted, I can feel it moving more where I didn't feel things before. So it's cool to feel some sensations that I haven't felt yet. I had a second really good night of sleep. I actually stayed up to about 1 or 2, just doing things. And I wanted to make sure I was really tired because I had taken a pretty good 2-hour nap yesterday afternoon after my mom left. And I also had to remind myself, like, hey, you're literally here alone for 16 more days. Do things on your schedule. Like, I don't have to go to bed at a certain time. My body was not ready to lay down. I'm not a back sleeper. I have to be really tired to sleep on my back. So around 2, I was definitely ready to retire. And then once again, I slept on my back the entire night. I am a stomach and side sleeper, and I don't usually get quality rest on my back, but I have for 2 nights in a row. And so that's good because it's difficult. I'm like, where do I position the catheter bag so it doesn't strangle itself and still drains all night? But also the Foley, it dangles this far out, but it sticks to my leg. And I've even had it to where it was like behind the catheter part was behind my leg stuck, and it's obviously pulling my penis, and that's causing bladder spasms because it's moving around. The bladder spasms have calmed down a lot. I still get them several times a day, but it is not a constant thing. All but like 1 or 2 of my sutures ripped out of my suprapubic site. I've got it secured with some gauze cut in half. That really helps. He sewed it in there really good, so it hasn't been moving in and out like last time during stage 1, but it definitely was in so tight that I think every time I was moving, I was going into a spasm. And I don't ever remember the bladder spasms being that intense during stage 1. Of course, during stage 1, my body had suffered so much more trauma. I had the arm to take care of, the leg graft, as well as the new penis. This time the trauma is focused here, so I think it just might be more pronounced, And last time, I was just way more out of it. I've been able to go I went all night without taking a pain med. Like my last one was at 6 p.m. and I woke up and looked at my little list. I was like, wow, that's really good. I'm gonna have to take that. I could finally take ibuprofen. My cheek, still a little swollen. I shaved so you can see it a little better, but ibuprofen's a blessing. Really managing okay alone. Had an emotional goodbye with my mom yesterday morning. I'm totally a mama's boy, but I think I'm gonna go out and get some fresh air. Maybe walk around Lady Bird Lake, maybe just drop in the thrift store a second, and then come back for the rest of the day and just chill. My mom took me grocery shopping before she left yesterday. She's so sweet, and I got a bunch of pre-made meals, and all I have to do is turn on the oven and heat them, so they're pretty healthy, pretty good. Maybe I'll go to Sonic later, get a little slushy for my face. I have a lot more time on my hands, so I'm making a lot more videos, but it also means I got a lot of editing to do. I'm working from home while I'm here, but if anybody would like to Skype, I'm definitely around. I've got 16 more days, and sometimes it's just nice to get out of my own head and talk to other people. So I've got this tubing here that I've concealed because it's stuck to my body right here, and it comes out right there. I took a video and showed y'all too much, so I just cut it in half so it can move, but so it can absorb. I'm glad not all the sutures came out, because then the tube would be moving in and out of my belly, but there's one securing it, and I don't want to rip that last one out. And they got ripped out just by movement, getting it out of a car, transferring, getting up from the sofa to just standing up or getting in the bed. So it's not like I pulled them out. I've been very good at not picking and whatnot. But yeah, I would say my pain and discomfort's at a 5 today. So I'm improving every day. First few days it was at a 10, first couple days. Yesterday was at an 8, and now a 7, 8. I would say it's like a 5 or 6. I took a hydrocodone this morning, so it definitely helped. The graft is bothering me in my mouth, but not as much, but it definitely fucking hurts. It's opened up a little bit, so I feel like debris can get caught in it, and it's so delicate. It's hard to tell what is scabbing tissue and what is debris that needs to be removed. but I bought this like antiseptic mouthwash for like oral sores, and I use that several times a day. It definitely helps. I just don't want infection in my mouth. I don't want to make this too rambly. I will probably have another video to you guys before you even see this, but I'm okay. I'm hanging in there, and just trying to read books and play the guitar I stress bought, and I've been coloring and just keeping busy, and I've been eating well. That's one thing. I have a great appetite. Even not having surgery, I don't always have a great appetite. I have been very much wanting to eat. It was hard the first few days because I couldn't take big bites, couldn't open my mouth. Now I just take baby bites, do a lot of soft foods, yogurts, applesauce, fruit, but it's really good that I want to eat, and so, yeah. All right, thanks to everyone who's reached out. If you have any questions for me, you can shoot me an email at charles.tommy, that's THOMY, @gmail.com. I love you guys. Thank you for your support, and happy Saturday. It's Saturday, 1:23, and I'm feeling well enough to do a little shopping. Retail therapy was good, but look where I am. What's up? It's 2:23. I had like a little nice hour-long outing. Got me some Cane's chicken, went to the thrift store, got some clothing, and so I got my retail therapy out. And yeah, I am spent after an hour. One thing I want to say is I'm not nearly as tired after this surgery as obviously stage 1. Even though it's been more painful than I expected, I'm just not nearly as tired. So I definitely just have more energy. Obviously a lot less was done, but I'm also sleeping better, so that's awesome. But yeah, even just like an hour outing, I'm like, all right, I'm done. So yeah. All right, and I'm doing pretty well flying solo. Wish my mom was still here, but yeah, it's going really well. I'm not having any problems or anything. Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Sunday, April 23rd. It's 1:03 p.m. in the afternoon, Central Daylight Time. I can't believe I've already been in Austin a week. In 2 days, I will be 1 week post-op from a BMG, a buccal mucosa graft urethroplasty. It's been a tough surgery, but if you can go through stage 1, you can go through anything. It's my second full day alone. Things are going well, mentally, spiritually, physically. It's definitely helpful to have another person, to just help you with stuff. And usually I'm not fully dressed, so I have to carry my bag around with me, so that leaves me one-handed. I could change it to a leg bag, but I just don't want to mess with it. My Foley, it's kind of gross. Like, it's just kind of starting to smell, and I clean it several times a day, like with soap and water, but also alcohol swabs, because it keeps moving back and forth in my penis, and it's uncomfortable. And yeah, the healing, the fluid, whatnot, is just kind of smelly. So I've noticed a kind of a smell the past day or two, but that's just wound healing. So my mom left on Friday morning, had a good nap, and then smooth sailing Friday night. Everything's been chill. Yesterday was a chill day. I stayed up kind of late Friday evening and then slept really solidly. Time's going by super fast. My bladder spasms have eased up a lot. It's just a weird blur to be here alone because I literally have had no human interaction in like 2 days besides the guy that rung me up at Goodwill yesterday, and I got a haul at Goodwill yesterday. That was my one outing of the day. I get a little stir crazy if I stay inside all day, so I do about one outing, and it was about an hour and 20 minutes, and I was done. I think I mentioned this in a previous clip that this surgery was tougher than I expected, but I'm not nearly as tired as I was for stage 1, which makes sense because I had, multiple parts of the body traumatized. This time it was only my penis, unfortunately. I will see Dr. Santucci on Wednesday for my post-op. Not sure when I get my suprapubic catheter pulled, but I should be getting the Foley out, thank God. I just reread the discharge instructions last night, and it said to take the Foley to your leg, and I tried that this morning, and it just ripped off, and I feel like I have to be even more careful than I already am. So between the tube dangling down here, the catheter bag is so hard to position to where like it drains, because you need it up like this and draining a certain way. And yeah, the site is very bruised, but not bothering me as much as it did the first time. The first time was definitely like a little training camp. It was sewed in there really well to where the waistband of my shorts didn't really bother it, or like a seatbelt riding in the car, but it was in so tight, I think it was causing the bladder spasms. natural movement, turning in my sleep, whatnot, have ripped out basically all but the one major suture. I'm actually glad because it's a lot looser. I am not getting bladder spasms like I was. In fact, I think I've only gotten like 1.5 today. So that's really amazing that they've let up, because they were going to give me this prescription for Urethroplasty, which was going to be like $500 for 30 pills, even with insurance, or with GoodRx it was going to be $400. So that was just out of my price range. So I've been sleeping pretty well at night. I didn't get as much sleep as I would have liked to last night, and I haven't been able to nap, but I've been very good this go round at resting. Like, I laid for a solid 2 hours in the bed, just reading, watching a movie, texting people, updating social media, responding to all my comments and stuff. So just the fact that I'm resting is really good. Sometimes I sit because laying doesn't do too great on the bladder spasms, but I noticed that I was on my feet too much earlier today, just because I tend to pace. I'm here alone, and it takes all that I have to force myself to lay down. So I'll do the 2 hours of laying down, and then I'm just kind of like pacing around, talking to people, whatnot, and I'm like, instead of pacing, you need to just lay down. It wasn't even something I was conscious of. When I was resting and reading a little bit ago, I was like, why are my legs so tired? And I was like, dude, you've been like pacing around this Airbnb and stuff. So I'm trying to be more aware of that, and I'm not as doped up as I was, definitely still tired, but I'm sure this is all over the place, but that's kind of my style. I'm an ADD space cadet. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Austin. It's going by in a blur. I still have 2 weeks here, but it's really cool and strange, like, to be able to be on this 24-hour schedule and not have to do anything but like heal. I love having my mom here, but when another human's here, obviously I'm gonna be courteous and not have the TV on at 3 in the morning or something, but it feels like I'm in a bubble. I don't quite know what I'm feeling yet. I've just been in this weird surgery bubble alone, but it's not bad. I'm not going to a dark place. I'm just definitely craving some human interaction. So yeah. It's also hard for me to lay around without doing something. I feel unproductive, I feel lazy, and I have to tell myself, you just had a big surgery and you're allowed to lay around and heal. It's okay. So it's a little after 1 in the afternoon. It's randomly cold today in Austin. It's been mostly in the 70s and 80s. Super, super pleasant weather, beautiful spring weather. If I could pick any time of the year to come here for surgery, it would be during the spring. So I woke up and it's cold. That's why I'm dressed up, not dressed up, but dressed in real clothes and in long clothes. And I think I'm gonna go for a drive. I might go to the library downtown. It's a beautiful, modern building, but it's got gorgeous views of downtown Austin skyline. So yeah, I don't know if I'll get out. I don't know if I want to deal with parking, but sometimes it's just good to get myself out once per day and, join the human beings. And yeah. So I'm gonna go do that before I talk myself out of it and then feel stir crazy all day. Thanks for your comments, your love, your good juju, your support. I love and appreciate you all. Mwah. All right, I'll catch you guys later. I think that's the first time I ever blew a kiss. It's new, whatever. It takes me so long to do anything. It's like I film that and then just getting on a jacket, whatever. I don't know. But one thing Phalloplasty stage 1 taught me is it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to need help. It's okay to let yourself be taken care of sometimes. And also, I learned to be way more gentle with myself and slow with things. I've always been a very mindful person, intentional, but I'm an ADD space cadet. I got a lot of energy. I'm up and around. It's also weird being on this 24-hour schedule where I'm like, did I take that pain med? Did I not? Don't worry, I write it down. That's why I write it down. But, having a caregiver, they'd be like, hey, you're due for your methocarbamol or whatever. But yeah, the weather's kind of yuck today. Let's see. But any day in Austin's a good day, right? And it randomly got cold, so I only brought 1 long sleeve shirt, or maybe 2. I don't know. But yeah, so good things do come of this surgery, even though no one wants to have extra repair surgeries and stuff. I've learned just to be patient with myself and with others. So yeah, okay. Hopefully I make it to the library to take some cool pictures. while I was at the library this afternoon taking pictures of the skyline, my really sweet cousin in South Carolina sent me a $50 DoorDash gift certificate. So I got voodoo donut, apple fritter, maple bacon bar, blueberry cake.